strong in faith, giving glory to God. You are sure to bring it.
God is more important than your, yet He has made your prayer hand, and it is determined by your relationship with your wife. Imagine, God is more important than your wife, but He has made your prayer, something that He says, pray without ceasing. That prayer, He has made that prayer, life of your prayer, being determined by how you live with your wife.
My God.
God is more important than your wife. But He has placed the place of prayer, your prayer life, under the mercy on how you handle your wife. So if you don't handle your wife, your relationship is very bad with her. You don't love her. You don't protect her. Hey, you have destroyed your prayer. Men, I want to tell you, protect your prayer life by loving your wife, by being considerate and living them with understanding. Men, I know you like ministers of the gospel like me. Please protect your prayer life. Protect your prayer life by loving your wife.
Amen.
And how will you be this effective that your prayer life will not be taken away? Be a foundation that you are made. Because male is the foundation of human family. You are that foundation of that human family. If the male leaves the home or ignores his responsibility, you have built your house on a sand. There's no foundation. So many marriages are built on sand because the males have ignored their responsibility. They have left their places. They have left their home. They have left the place of power. They have left the place of influence. They have left the place of their family. Please, male, we say again, going back. We say this. Foundation is very important. It is not the only thing needed in the house. You need to understand that. We have other things. The roof is very important. The foundation cannot make a house itself alone.
Yeah.
So the woman is very important. The children are very important. What makes the family is very important. But the foundation is also very important. So when your man you have left and you are not performing your function as a foundation, the marriage is built on a sand. That's why I say many marriages are broken. Many marriages are frustrated. Many marriages are at the dead end. Because a male who is the foundation of the family has failed to be what they are supposed to be. So male, you are important. And you need to rise to that place, Now, most of the male, they are complaining, and this argument. You are complaining that my wife is this, she is taking all the credit, she is taking everything. Let me tell you, it is only a selfish person who wants to take all the glory. It is only a selfish person who want to take all the glory, all the credit, all the recognition, all the attention, all the power, all the authority, all the rights, all the privileges. That's a selfish person who does that. But a loving person wants to share what he has. So we share even our responsibilities. We delegate what is ours to others when you are not. So, in other words, a good woman, a good man will not fight to prove he is a man. He will love the woman, support that woman, act like a bridge with that woman, so that our potential, our giftings will also shine, and she will also become. It is only selfish people who oppress one another, and they reduce the other people into nothing. These are the selfish people, selfish people who are there, self-centered, egocentric. They are not after any other person. They are after themselves. But if you are a good person, going to work and to make sure that the wife shines. Why? Do you know why you need to make your wife shine. Vicious woman is a crown. 12 verse 4. So that woman is a crown. And when now you lack that crown, if a king is in his glory, he must have the crown. She is the king's crown. Know the difference now. That's where marriage now takes a different turn. This is where marriage takes a different turn. When a man becomes the president, the wife becomes the first lady.
Yeah.
When he becomes a governor, the wife becomes the first lady. Now, but the wife is nothing. There is no crowning. Even they don't even recognize how much in our affairs. But when it comes, the one who crowns you as a king in that marriage relationship and crowns you and you become that king is your wife. So once you lose her and lose her glory, you lose that power of your kingship. So it is the wife that makes this glory come to you. So man, you are supposed to take care of your wife. It is through your communion with God that you receive vision for your life. Stay with God. Receive the vision for your life, marriage, and then you are directed in the issues of life as you commune with God. A man is always on a mission, and your mission is given by God. And you are supposed to understand you are on a mission, man. You are not just there. You are a man on a mission. And your mission is given by God. Your vocation and work is of God. So you need to commune with him. You need to stay with him. As you continue to work with God, your purpose is fulfilled. If a man ceases to stay with God, his purpose is perverted. So you need to stay with him. That is the real man. And the real man is the one who stays with God. And you need to understand that when you understand your place in God, you are going to be victorious in that marriage. Now, before now I hand over to my wife to give us this better part, there's something I want you to understand. Wives, you should know also that when you have come out in the life of that man, what he is not, you can make him. You come with that crown, so you make him a king, because you are the crown in his head. So you can make this man be what he is not. So there is a role you have to play in bringing the man into what he should be. That is why you carry a title, helper. You can help him to go. Women out there, if you have seen men who have succeeded, their wives have helped them to succeed. Help yours to succeed also.
Amen.
Men have been helped by their wives. You see him glorious, and even you don't get ashamed. You point your husband and you tell your husband, look and so and so. You should be ashamed. You don't understand what the wife has done to that man.
Successful man.
That man has been successful because the crown is working on the hand. So some kings cannot be kings because they have no crown. Go out and help your husband to become what he ought to become. Don't be jealous or you compare him with other people. Well, you are not playing your duty as an helper. Go back and begin to help. And when you help, you are going to enjoy your place. So I want to stick there, and I want now to put you to tax there, because This man can't be a king
Can't.
until he has the crown.
Yeah.
And the crown is the virtuous woman. And the wife can make a man to
Yeah.
be what she wants her to be.
Yeah, I'll begin by saying this, the man that a woman married does not exist in the physical until this man is made. Actually, everybody says, even them that are not married, they say a man of my dream. So it means there is a man that you saw from the dream world. That man you saw from the dream world does not exist in the physical until you bring him in the physical. And how do we bring him? We bring him by making him. So there is no ready-made man. There is no ready-made man. You make him to become the way you saw. So the problem is that many women, they saw, but when it came to the process of making, they were not able to make. And that's a woman who can say, look at so and so, because so and so was made by his wife. So it is a failure to point your husband and try
You point someone else to your husband.
To your husband, and you compare.
And that wife of that man has helped that man to become what he is.
That man,
there are some ministries we see physically.
Yes.
And we give men credit. Because they are the leaders.
Yeah.
But when you look at the ground, those ministries are made by women.
Every time if you go to a successful ministry and you seek to know how that ministry has gone on top, you hear the way the pastor's wife, she's very prayerful, the way she organizes women to pray, the way she goes in the prayer mountain, the way she goes to the cave, to the forest to seek God because of the ministry. So we say in Swahili, ukiona vyaelea vimefanya nini? Vimeundwa. Ukiona vyaelea vimeundwa. There's nothing that is just mushrooms from nowhere. It has been made. Now, the word of the Lord asks this. If you read in the book of Proverbs, Proverbs 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For our price is far above rubies. And it's only a virtuous woman who is a crown. So not all women are crowned to the hand of their husbands.
Virtuous woman.
Only virtuous women. And virtuous women, even the word of God has given us a challenge of a question. Who can find a virtuous woman? Virtuous women, they are very rare to be found. And virtuous women, if you find one, you must pursue her because she is totally different. Our perception is different. The way she does things is different. The way she speaks is different. She cannot just be like any other woman. Even if you meet her in the congregation of women, she is different. She always stands out. She stands for what she knows is right. Even if she is the only one, she will just maintain that which is right, that which does not compromise her faith, that which does not displace her from doing what is right. And those women are very rare. Now, there's something that the word of the Lord is putting a challenge. Who can find a virtuous woman? For our price, the word of the Lord says, for our price is far above rubies. So a virtuous woman, there's a price attached to her. And as a man, if you find such a woman, understand you have 100% support. You have 100% help. You'll never crumble when that woman is in your life. You'll never be in a place of displacement when you have such a woman. Now, the way this woman shines, the better the life of a man. Because she's a crown. So I want also to challenge men who feels bad when their women or their wives are making it. That is totally very wrong. That is totally very wrong, and it is contrary to the will of God. So the more your wife shines, the better. The more your life becomes recognized, because a king in one
is known by his crown. The crown.
Yeah. So
it's part of his life.
We can begin with this woman.
How do a woman? What are the qualities or qualification of this virtuous woman? And to me, when I think about it, God did not create a woman who is not a virtuous woman. Maybe people perverted or diverted from what is original.
Whatever God created, my dear, is very perfect.
He created real men.
He created perfect.
Real men and also real women.
The one says...
So the real women, we can call them virtuous
women. Yeah, because every good and perfect gift is from the Lord. But if you cannot abide in the presence of God, you are perverted. And I'll begin with this woman in the Bible. If you read in the book of Esther, chapter number 1, Vashti. Vashti, she was a queen. She was placed in the palace. She was reigning together with King Artaxerxes. But what happened? When she was given an opportunity that is very rare, the opportunity that would make the king even to be recognized more, to be acknowledged because of his choice, this woman, she was perverted. This woman, in one way or the other, she did contrary to what she was supposed to do. When a woman perverts, her mission in the life of her husband changes. Her mission.
You hear that? I repeat. If the woman is perverted, her mission in the life of her husband changes. And I want to say, if a man is perverted, his mission in the life of his wife changes. He becomes a reject. When Saul was rejected, he did not lose the title. He is a king. But what has happened? It is the purpose that changed. He started pursuing and destroying what he is supposed to build. And he became friends with the enemies of God to destroy what God is building. Are you a wife who is a friend with the enemies of marriage? And you are destroying your own marriage? Are you a man who has lost his position and now you are destroying what you should be building? That's the question. Continue.
Okay, thank you for the applause. So when a woman perverts from the real course, from the way, from the divine way, our mission in the life of our husband changes totally. First of all, she becomes a strange woman.
A strange woman.
That's why some husbands ask this wife, I no longer understand you. I no longer know you. You have become something else. And what does the word say in the book of Proverbs 5? For the lips of a strange woman drop as honeycombs, and her mouth is smoother than oil. So this woman, when she becomes strange, her mission is not the divine mission. Whatever she does, it may seem as if it is the right thing, but the mission is an evil mission. Mission number one, when a woman has become perverted, she sabotages everything that the man is doing. She becomes a person who sabotages. That's why Vashti was called and she said, I'm also holding a party. So she does contrary things. If you see...
Parallel things to the husband.
To the husband. She holds, if her husband opens a business, she opens hers. If her husband begins something, she begins hers.
If her husband contests for a seat,
also she wants to have one. So her mission changes completely. She becomes strange. She will never support the vision, but she is out to kill. She may kill indirectly. That's why a strange woman, her lip drops honeycombs. So that's why even
they are very sweet.
They are very sweet. That's why even some strange women out there, some men go out and they fall into their traps because they speak in a sweet manner, but their mission is different. That's why we have some women who are in their own marriage, but they steal from their own marriage. They can steal and do some things. There are some women who have been conned, even a lot of money, because she wanted also to have her own company. She wanted also to have her own business. She started trending with people that are not genuine. And after she is called, this is the time she is coming crying. But the moment she was telling her husband, honey, I want to do this, honey, I want to, she was doing something that the husband was not aware of. So she comes to sabotage, she comes to kill, she comes to do something that is contrary. I want to bring something from the word of God in the book of Isaiah so that we can understand if a wife backslides, if a woman backslides.
Backsliding is leaving your divine place.
Yeah, leaving your divine place. So the word says in the book of Isaiah 32 from verse 9, the consequences of complacency. Complacency, we say it is that feeling of being content. It is that act of having self-satisfaction. So you are self-satisfied. You are, and when you are self-satisfied, you are unaware of the coming trouble. So when a woman backslides, she is not aware that there are problems that are coming. So this one, what the word says, rise up, you women who are at ease. When a woman backslides, she is not bothered by anything. She no longer prays. She's no longer concerned by her home affairs. She just watches. She becomes.
Now, let me say this before you complete that. I have heard this saying that most women who are married by good men turn to be bad women.
That's where I want to come, because they become content. They are self-satisfied. They know this man is born again. You will not beat me. You will not come drunk. So there's no time to just wipe
their vomits.
This man is faithful. He will be trustworthy. You will not carry sicknesses out there and bring to me. I am safe.
I am the only one.
Yeah, I am the only one. So she feels she's at ease. Nothing disturbs her. That's why the word says, rise up. And tonight I am coming to speak to those women that are married by good men. Some of them are married by the vessels of God. They are married by men who are worshippers. But because they have been at ease, they are not helping these people to draw even near to God. I am coming to tell them, rise up. This is what the word says, rise up, you women who are at ease. Hear my voice. You complacent daughters, give ear to my speech. Now tonight I'm just coming to you, woman. My fellow woman, you have turned to be something else. You have turned to be a strange person. Your language has turned. Your actions has turned. The way you are doing things, you're not doing them anymore. The way you are talking to your husband, you have become another person. Your voice is always on top. You are despising your husband before, or even in the presence of children, before anybody. You can disrespect this man. You can do anything before anybody, because to you is valueless. To you he means nothing. The one says, give ear to my speech. In a year and some days you'll be troubled. This is the word of God. In a year and in some days you'll be troubled. So you may be at ease and you abandon your duties. When Vashti abandoned her responsibility, she failed to give support to the king. When she was to appear before the VIPs, before everybody that the king had invited, she refused. What happened? She was displaced. And I tell you the truth, we have wives who have been displaced. The husband will not marry another one. But he has taken this woman out. He has just taken.
He has thought out of his mind.
Yeah, out of his mind.
And he has begun to train himself to live without a wife.
Yeah. That is where many ladies have forced their husbands to be. So when you become that woman who is just complacent, you are complacent as a woman, you are not aware of the trouble. In other words, discernment is taken away. Sensitivity.
That sense of a woman.
Sense of a woman is taken away. And you turn to be something else. You become a killer. Even many women that you hear talk more, when they encounter 4 of them, 5 of them, they begin to speak against their own husbands. It is only that they have been perverted. It is only that they have been deviated from the divine cause. Such women this is what the word says in the book of Jeremiah 31, verse 22. Instead of compassing their husbands, they expose them to danger. They expose them to trouble. Instead of wooing them, these are the people that position, they position even other women to trap their husbands because they want to test their love. I want to test if this man loves me. I want to test if this man has got love.
Is that wisdom?
It is foolishness.
Or I have seen even some wife bet.
Yeah.
And the woman bet and says, my husband cannot sleep with any other woman. And they bet with the woman, and the woman tells, I will make him do that. They say, no, my husband cannot. And they bet. And they bet, and this woman creates the room for the husband to be tested. And finally, they are paid a very high price.
It is foolishness. It is foolishness. The word says a foolish woman demolishes her own house with her own hands. So there are women who have brought setups. They have put some setups for their husbands to see if they can stand during that. They have prepared and ground. They have become devils to test if their husbands can withstand the test. They themselves, they have become temptation. So those are the kind of women that will go and bring a woman or pay. Some of them, when they are deviated, they pay a woman out there. I want you to
try him.
Try him. Because I want to know if this God that he prays. You want to weigh your spirituality. You want to weigh or to understand your level of your stand in God. So they can hire a lady somewhere. Some of them, they will hire even a lady who is in charge. Some of them, they are pastors' wives. They will hire a lady who even sings in the choir. And that day she will not be around the church. And she will tell you, go dress badly. I want to know if that office that he goes, he sleeps with women there, or he is really a man of God. And what will happen? This man can either stand or can go down because a woman has turned to be a tempter. She has turned to be something that is very strange. And as a result, you cause your husband to be vulnerable. You cause your husband not to withstand challenges. There are women who have just made their men to be naked. They are men, instead of walking like kings,
the crown is not there.
The crown is not there. So they feel ashamed even when they are walking. They cannot be strong. They cannot stand before people because of their wives. Instead of crowning their husbands, they have dethroned them. Because a king without a crown is an dethroned king. A king who has a woman who has deviated is not a king who is strong to govern. He will be ashamed. That's why the king, during the time of Vashti, he called the inner circle, the counselors, and he asked them, what am I going to do? And he was advised, first of all, this woman should be taken out of the kingdom. And secondly, let virgins be covered. And king will choose. The king will choose from those virgins. So there are some people that have just gone out to sabotage, to shame their husbands because they have allowed the enemy to use them. Any woman outside the presence of God is a failure. That's why the first mother, Eve, because when she allowed the three things that brings a person down, if she allowed the lust of eyes, she allowed the lust of the flesh, she allowed the pride of life. Those are the three things that the enemy brought in the Garden of Eden. And what happened? She never adhered to the word of God. Every marriage, my dear, there is the word of God to govern that marriage. And if that word is breached, whoever breaches, then there are consequences. Trouble is invited in the family whenever a person, if it is the wife who has allowed the devil to come through her, then the family will be shaken because God is not the respecter of persons. The one says, ungracious woman retaineth honor. And strong men retain riches. So where there is an ungracious woman, a man will of course retain riches. But many men, they have even lost what they are supposed to have because the women who are supposed to be gracious, they have brought dishonor in their marriage. The way you parent yourself, some of them, they don't even parent themselves as someone's wife. The way they do things, they don't do things as a person who is associated or who is partnering with someone. Can you hear Proverbs 7 verse 10? It says, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle of heart. So when a woman becomes strange, she may not physically put on the physical attire of an harlot, but she can have a garment of an harlot in a spirit. And when that garment of an harlot is in this woman, she is married, but every man out there is after her because there is something wrong. There is always, let me tell you, my dear, there is a covering that you give unto me, not only because of the ring. The moment I made a covenant with you, you gave me just like that a covering. And that covering, if I honor it, if I honor the covenant of God and the covenant of our marriage, wherever I go, I will be respected.
As a wife.
As a wife. And there are ordinances of the covenant. The way I conduct myself, I should not conduct myself as someone who is not.
So there is something wrong with the wives who are married and they are being pursued by other men.
Yeah, something is totally wrong.
And some cannot even get peace.
Yeah.
Until they go out and somebody says, you are beautiful. And call them.
Yeah.
The covering
of a husband is not working. Either that covering is weak, or the woman has breached the covenant ordinances. When the covenant is breached, when the ordinances of the covenant are breached, that covering is already penetrated. When the Israelites sinned during the time when they went and the wall of Jericho fell down. And they breached or they transgressed the covenant, they could not withstand. They could not withstand their enemies. So when the covenant of God and the covenant between a husband and wife is breached, you cannot withstand. That's how many women have become loose. There are women out there, they are not sex partners to their husbands. They are not attracted to their husbands. But when they go out there, they cannot control themselves because they are backslidden. They are desiring other men more than their husband. There's something that is telling them that those are better off. And that is the weapon of the devil. And I want to declare in the name of Jesus, if you're out there and you have become a victim of such falsehood of the devil, I break that power and break that force. And if you have become a competitor of your husband, you are already perverted. Some of them, they do not show it openly, but they just feel within them to rebel. They feel within them to compete with their husbands. They feel within them not to obey what their husbands are saying. And that's why some of them, they ask them, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
Do you think you own my life?
Yeah, do you think you are the hair that I breathe? Can you switch it off so that I can see if I will die? If a woman has reached to that level, what she requires is deliverance. And I am praying in Jesus' mighty name, you never came into the life of your husband to terrorize your husband. Because some women have become terror when you are backslidden, when you are being perverted. And this is what makes a man even not to ask anything. Because when a woman becomes a trouble to some men, there are men that you talked about yesterday, but we have men who are right with God, who fear God, but they have been terrorized by their own wives until they say, I don't want problems. So there are women who have forced their own husbands to be passive because you have declared opposition in your own marriage. You have.
I remember there is a woman who said in my presence and told the husband, in my presence, this is not the things I heard from someone. In my presence, She said,
You never have peace.
I will, you will know, I am the one who allows you to be the pastor.
Jesus Christ.
And I am the one who allows you to be there. And from today you will know you will not be that pastor.
Do you know that kind of a woman? She is described in Proverbs 20.
And to make the matters worse, today as I speak, that man is not a pastor. And she follows him wherever he goes. He left the church, she followed him. He has now become ordinary, she followed him. It is this year I found that man in one of our churches, one of our branches. He has become a bit active in the church now. He's coming back. Even I had promised to meet him and talk with him because I want him to become a pastor again, and I want to hear the wife.
Because he is
if the
God.
wife changed, because he's God. If the wife changed the tune, and the wife is saying maybe he can be a pastor again, that is something we are to find out again.
It is very hard, my dear, to handle a woman when she turns to be strange. The one says a strange woman is a narrow pit. So you...
Yeah. Is a what?
A narrow pit. The one, Proverbs 23:27. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. So there are men who have been swallowed.
In a narrow
Their
pit.
potential, their vision, everything that pertains such men as just gotten into a narrow pit. And you know, a narrow pit, when you enter that, you are trapped. It is even it is good to be in a large pit, but a narrow pit,
A narrow one, you cannot turn.
you cannot turn. You die quietly. You die without.
So some women are narrow pits.
Yeah, that's what the word of God is saying. A perverted woman, she is a narrow pit to her husband.